Okay, and then here we go. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Sydney. Thank you for all joining me today. Today, I wanted to dedicate this speech to commemorating a specific event in my life. About a year ago, I left the school I was attending in California and came back home. It was a pretty big decision in my life. It was a pretty hard phase, but ultimately it led to a lot of really great lessons, and I'm really happy with where I'm at today. Ultimately, it was difficult because leaving this school that I was committed to for volleyball, by the way, that's why I was there. I was on a full ride scholarship. That was kind of what I had worked for my whole career with volleyball, my whole childhood. So leaving that felt like I was wasting all of those years, all of that money I spent on club volleyball, the recruitment process. But I knew that if I didn't leave, I was going to lose myself. So for the first time in my life, it felt like I chose myself. I chose me. From this, I learned 3 very important lessons that definitely stuck with me. The first of which was becoming aware of this toxic stereotype that I feel like is placed on a lot of young athletes and even anybody, not even just athletes, and just gaining a new perspective on life. Second, I learned to trust my gut and that it's okay to change my mind. And third, I learned that my happiness is more important than anything. So starting off, I talked about that stereotype. It's kind of expected for young athletes for the goal to be to go play D1 sports, D1 volleyball out of state, wherever you can get a scholarship. That's kind of what everybody works for, and you're kind of weird if you don't do that. But as soon as I got up to school, I was feeling horrible. I just knew, I don't think this is for me. I fought long and hard for 2 weeks to find every reason I could to stay, but it just was not working. I had a lot of hard meetings with my coaches, with the staff. But through all this hardship, I started to have an inkling of a new perspective, and I had to consider for the first time that there might be a different option, when previously in high school and leading up to this, I never considered a plan B. The plan was always to go to California and play volleyball. Ultimately learning that there's more to life. So then that goes into the decision I made where I changed my mind clearly, and I came back home. Like I said, I struggled for a couple weeks up there, mentally and physically. It got to the point I couldn't even finish a practice because any of the food I ate would not stay down. It was bad, and it's controversial. I knew that if I came home, some people would think differently of me, and that's what I was really terrified of. But I just knew that I needed to trust myself because I had never felt like this in my life, and I knew that there was more for me. And as nervous as I was to come home, as soon as I admitted to myself that I didn't want to be there, it was an immediate wave of relief. So lastly, the biggest lesson that really stuck to me was happiness is more important than anything, your own happiness. Like I said, I came home so afraid of judgment from my coaches, from my teammates, from everybody I knew basically. But I had to teach myself and engrave in my own brain that I didn't waste my life. I didn't waste my years in volleyball just because I decided to come home. Ultimately, I'm here at Chandler Gilbert now. I still play volleyball. Now I'm focused more on my career. And as time went on, I started to find more and more joy doing this. And that really solidified in me that I can do other things. I don't have to do what somebody else does just because that's what everyone's doing, if that makes sense. So, with that being said, I just wanted to commemorate this event in my life and how it led me to where I am today. It was definitely very significant. There was this quote that I found when I came home. I don't remember where it's from, but I just remember seeing it and it really helped me. It is, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." I feel like I lost all my confidence, and through how empty I felt, I absorbed so many new things because I was trying everything to rebuild my image almost because I felt like such a failure. But I discovered a lot more about myself and about what I actually like and what I want to do, not what I felt like I had to do. So with all that being said, I'm grateful for these lessons. I'm grateful that I learned to trust my gut. I'm grateful that I broke away from that stereotype. and that I now take pride in my own happiness. And I think everybody, like, I encourage you all to prioritize your happiness over everything. Don't try to fit into a standard. You can make that for yourself. And that's all. Thank you so much for joining me today.